Welcome to the AFR Saints channel, where we provide you daily content on your favorite team, the New Orleans Saints. Do us a favor and hit that subscribe button. Be sure to leave your comments below and smash that like button. Who dat? Saints Panthers Sunday from the Dome. Did get the injury report. The only maybe notable thing today is that A.T. Perry did not practice. He's officially questionable for the game. So we'll see if a guy who might well be the Saints' third best receiver is available or unavailable for this game. Dennis Allen met with reporters afterwards. And, I think we're all going to be keeping an eye on Derek Carr, year 2 in New Orleans. Everyone says it's supposed to be better. Derek Carr said how more comfortable he is in year 2 with the system, the people, the teammates, all of it. So in what ways is Dennis Allen seeing Derek Carr progress here?
I think he's more comfortable, obviously, being here. He's more comfortable in this organization. Obviously, when you move, there's a lot of other things that go along with that. It's not just going to a new team and having to deal with all the things with a new team. There's new schools. Your wife has to meet new friends. Your kids are meeting new people. There's a lot that goes into that. And so, I think his family's comfortable now. I think he's comfortable. I think he's grown a lot in terms of this offense and what we're doing in this offense. I think he's getting more and more confident in what we're doing offensively. And so I'm excited about him having an opportunity to go out there and play.
How much do you buy into all of that? I don't know that I believe that Derek Carr's struggles a year ago were because he was in a new place and there's new schools and kids are making new friends. I'm not saying those things aren't real, right? I mean, you moved around from Chicago, LA, St. Louis, San Francisco. I mean, you were a lot of places. That's real, but at the same time, when you're a 10-year veteran, you go play.
So it is real. And yes, it sometimes can be a bit of a culture shock and change. But you are 100% correct. You're a pro. This is what you do. This is what you signed up for. This is what your wife and your children signed up for. They got it. Your wife, she's got it. And she's got people helping her move. She's got family and friends coming to help and get everybody comfortable. That's a real thing. It happens with all these folks. Derek Carr has plenty enough money to fly folks in and help and make everything comfortable. And you don't like the house you're living in? Okay, well, we'll go buy another one. That's a real thing. So I don't buy any of that. I think that's total BS. You have to be a pro. At that point, this is your job, man. You've been in this league for 10 years. You know exactly what to expect. You know what comes when you move in new cities and new places and new teammates. And I get it. I mean, I liked it. I embraced it. I like the new stuff. Get me around some good people. I mean, the truth is the guy just stinks. I mean, let's just be real. I mean, he's not a good quarterback, and he wasn't a good quarterback when we got here. I don't care how comfortable he is. He's not going to be a good quarterback.
I think, as I've always said about Derek Carr, he is we know what he is. I don't think he stinks, but I think he is never going to be an elite. At his absolute best, his ceiling, Derek Carr's ceiling, in my opinion, is a fringe top 10 quarterback at his absolute best. But we've really only seen that once in his career. And it was the 2019 season in Oakland. He threw for it was 20. Well, COVID, he threw for 27 touchdowns and 9 interceptions, threw for 4,100 yards. We just haven't seen that very much in his career. Mostly he's a lower mid, upper bottom tier quarterback in the NFL. That's what he is. So I don't know that all the change is what matters. I mean, listen, we see quarterbacks move around in the NFL. Russell Wilson went from Seattle to Denver, and he stunk because he's finished.
He stunk his last couple of years in Seattle.
He's going to stink in Pittsburgh this year.
That's right.
I'll be curious to see what a guy like Kirk Cousins does, moving from Minnesota to Atlanta. But when Kirk Cousins moved from Washington to Minnesota, became a very good quarterback in the NFL, became a playoff quarterback in the NFL. So I don't know that I buy any of that. The real concern with New Orleans is the fact that Your offensive line stinks. You don't have a very deep receiving core. You have aging running backs. You don't really have proven pass catchers at tight end. The hope is where you invested in Clint Kubiak that his scheme can overcome your personnel deficiencies. We'll get an answer very quickly of that on Sunday with Carolina, because if you can't get it done against Carolina, when you look at what's ahead with Dallas and Philly and Atlanta and Kansas City, like, the gauntlet is coming. So you better go win this game on your home field Sunday. I don't think Carolina is very good, but you better go win this game Sunday. Saints are a 4-point favorite in the Dome. You want to pick it?
Yeah. I mean, the Saints are going to lose. But I do have a comment. Do we have time or not? Here's the thing.
Why do you think they lose?
I don't think that. Well, Dennis Allen's not any good.
I agree with that.
Yeah, so here's the thing.
They also were 9-8 a year ago.
Yeah, no, I understand that. He's not a good coach. But mediocre quarterbacks have won Super Bowls before. There's been teams with deficiencies that the coaching has put them in positions to win football games. And you just mentioned Kubiak and schemes, and like that's a real thing. Like, coaches can impact the game and put guys in positions to win. So not only does the quarterback stink, but the head coach really stinks. So the Saints aren't going to win.
But the head coach is a good defensive coach. That is objectively true.
Oh, he can coach defense, but you have to score.
Yes, and they did score at times last year, but a lot of times it was scoring late, and I've talked about it all. From who the breaks they got with their schedule, and missing Justin Fields in Chicago and instead playing Tyler Bagent, missing Daniel Jones, not that he's great, but he was a playoff quarterback, missing Daniel Jones and instead facing Tommy Cutlets. I mean, you got some breaks last year in that spot. But this is still Bryce Young and an offense that I don't know that they're ready to be very good, especially on the road against a good Saints defense. So I do think the Saints are going to win this game. I hate the line. I wouldn't make a play on the spread at all. I would probably tend to lean Carolina +4, but I do think this is a game that the Saints win. But I'm really worried based on all the I think genuine cause for concern around this offense and how it might fare. I mean, Brian Branch isn't there anymore, but they bring in Jadeveon Clowney. You still got Derek Brown there on that defensive line, who's a menace and a monster. I think they're going to create problems for the Saints offensively. I don't think this is a high-scoring game. The total is 41.5, but I think the Saints have enough to get this win. I'm going to pick the Saints to win this game in the Dome. I'm completely staying away from the line, from a side in this game. I don't like the spread whatsoever, but I do think the Saints win the game at home, start off 1-0. They won 5 straight openers. They win this one, it would be 6 consecutive openers. That's the longest streak currently in the NFL. So I do think the Saints get a win on Sunday, and they better get it, because I don't think you're winning next week in Dallas. I don't think you're beating Philly. You could beat Atlanta, but that's a road game. You're certainly not winning at Kansas City. It's going to be a very, very tough start. You got to get the ones you can get, and this is one you have to get. So let's see if the Saints go do it on Sunday in the Dome. Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please leave your comments. I love to interact, and be sure to hit the red subscribe button below.